All right, week 2, here we go. Welcome to the Tamale Report with your host, me, the commish. Let's get into it. So in week 2, we had some great matchups, some real close games. We start off in the lower division. We have our leader, Javier Perez, squeezing by and getting a 2-point win over brother-in-law Abel Laura. So mixing it up, wins 91-87. The other Perez brother also gets a real close win, beating out Thug Nasty and Jaime 97-95. All Jaime needed was a field goal, but his Raiders held on and helped get a victory. And then according to Jaime, he was okay with that. Also in the lower division, we have a big victory here by Javier Laura, the Chubby Chasers, beating Rona Viral Mark and his crew 130-81. On the Trejo division side, get this, look who's 2-0, Alonso, unsportsmanlike, beats Raleigh 106-102. Alonso has a great Monday night and pulls out a victory from way behind and crushes Raleigh and his hopes to get his first win. Alonso is 2-0, which looking back in the history of El Golden Tamale, it's never happened, so enjoy it. The rumor is that he fired his GM, Cadence, who moved to Boise, and Alonso's doing it himself, so good job, Alonso. Good call, man. The other Trejo matchups pitted the champ, David Bacon versus Carlos. I made you look. David scores a week high 132 and beats Carlos by 16. Carlos scores 116. Just ownage by Bacon over Carlos right now. He took him out last year in the semifinals and then move on and get the trophy. And so it continues. The champ lets everyone know that he's back. Also in the Trejo division, this side of hell, Josh, the rookie, pulls out a victory over the seasoned veteran, Danny Trejo, 124-115, giving Danny his first loss and also getting Josh his first win. So the fantasy football virgin finally gets his first win. So congratulations. All right, so that's looking at the standings in the lower division. We have the Perez brothers with 2-0, and Javier Perez is actually seated a little bit above Tony with just a few more points. And then there's two people with a 1-1 records, Javier Laura and Jaime Laura, and then Mark and Abel are on the bottom, looking up, both with 2 losses. They do play each other in week 3, so hopefully one of them gets a win. In the Trejo division, and this is not a mistake, this is not a misprint, this is not a typo, it's Alonso Trejo on top of the Trejo division. First time ever, 2 victories. And so he sits up there all by himself. Right below him are Danny, Carlos, Josh, and David, both, all of them with 1-1 records. And then at the bottom, which is the norm, Raleigh Trejo looking up. No Mames Way is mamando a lot. He's scored a lot of points, but he's just had 2 real tough losses. All right, so if the playoffs were to start today, the number 1 seed would be, again, not a misprint, not a typo, it's true. Alonso Trejo is up there, unsportsmanlike, 2-0, he's got the most points. And then the number 2 seed would be Javier Perez, mixing it up, also 2-0. Then Tony Perez, what you know about that? Again, 2-0. And then the 4th seed would be Danny Trejo, Machete Kills, with his 1-1 record, but he does have the most points out of all the teams that are 1-1. So those would be the first 4 in for the playoffs. All right, so let's give out some trophies. This week's winners, the Hot Tamale Trophy, given to the player with the most points for the week. It goes to David Bacon, scoring 132. David had big games from Adams and Higsby and Ridley along with Montgomery. And then he did put give Carlos his first loss as well. The biggest beatdown of the week, giver of, goes to Javier Lora, Chubby Chasers, with his 49-point victory over Mark. The MVP, which goes to the starter with the most points. There was actually a three-way tie this week with 45 points, and that went to quarterback Russell Wilson, owned by Carlos. Made You Look. And then Josh Allen, quarterback for Javier Lora's Chubby Chasers, and also Dak Prescott, Jaime Lora's Thug Nasty team. So those three split the MVP for the most points by a starter. The bad, all right, the no vales madre, the one that no one wants to get. This week it goes to Mark. Mark scores a really respectable 81 points, and looking back, that's actually the highest points given to the no vales madre. Usually no vales madre means you sucked, but Mark scores a decent pointage, but still it wasn't good enough. He gets no vales madre for week 2. No mas also goes to Mark. Mark had a decent game, but he went up against a buzzsaw in Javier Lora's Chubby Chasers. It didn't help that Raleigh took 21 of his points with Kareem Hunt stealing those points. So the No Mas trophy, again, the recipient of the biggest beatdown, goes to Mark. And then the un-VP, which is the most points on the bench, is 32 points by Joe Burrow from Carlos's Made You Look team. Hey, Carlos, I have Russell Wilson. I'm not going to start Burrow over Russell Wilson, not yet anyways. So I'll take that all day. All right, week 2, great week, unless you want an ACL. But I know there's a lot of injuries, so be looking on that waiver wire, and we'll see you week 3. All right, good luck, fellas.